Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in a large part to viewers like yourselves and also our brand new sponsors. And speaking of which, a special shout out to Douglas Minty, who has joined our collection of sponsors out there. We appreciate your support very much. People have been asking how you can sponsor EPN. It's not on the main YouTube page. It's on gaming.youtube.com/EPNTV. There's a little sponsor button right there, and we sure do appreciate all of you sponsors. Thank you so much, and happy birthday, Jerry Campbell Greer. Let's get started with the rundown. Get ready for loads of news about Hearthstone, Overwatch, Warcraft, and more because BlizzCon 2017 has begun. Blizzard Entertainment's massive gaming event kicked off earlier today in Anaheim, California, with the opening ceremony offering several big game announcements. First up, Overwatch is getting a new character and a new map. The new character is named Moria and is a support healer who can also deal a lot of damage. The new map is called Blizzard World and is meant to recreate and celebrate some of the best games from Blizzard's history. Expect those to arrive soon. Next up, Blizzard unveiled the next big expansion for World of Warcraft, the first since Legion was released in early 2016. The new expansion is called Battle for Azeroth and will thrust players into a new epic war between the Horde and Alliance, complete with a new level cap of 120. Expect to be playing that next year. World of Warcraft fans are also getting a new classic server option, allowing them to play the game similar to how it was when it was originally launched way back in 2004. The Warcraft-inspired digital card game, Hearthstone, is getting a new expansion as well. It's called Kobolds and Catacombs and offers 135 new cards, as well as a new single-player mode called Dungeon Runs. Blizzard's MOBA game, Heroes of the Storm, is getting two new crossover characters, Overwatch's Hanzo and World of Warcraft's Alexstrasza the Lifebinder. Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm aren't the only free-to-play games from Blizzard. The company has announced that the main campaign mode for 2010's StarCraft 2 will soon be free, although this doesn't include the post-launch expansions and other content. It goes free to play in 2 weeks. That's what Blizzard has announced so far, and we'll let you know if anything new comes in over the weekend. BlizzCon is easily one of the biggest publisher-exclusive gaming events in the world, with Blizzard using it as a way to celebrate all of their iconic franchises. Last year, more than 27,000 people attended in person, and because tickets sell out in mere seconds, Blizzard began selling virtual tickets a few years ago, allowing fans to watch live video in the comfort of their homes. The UFC game franchise isn't going to tap out anytime soon. Electronic Arts has officially announced EA Sports UFC 3, their next big game in the MMA franchise. They haven't released a lot of footage just yet, but say that they've completely overhauled the animation system so the fighters will look and move more realistically than ever. They're also adding a new career mode along with more multiplayer modes based around quick, fast-paced matches. Development is once again being handled by Vancouver-based EA Canada, the same studio behind the FIFA games, and this will be the first game in the series since EA Sports UFC 2 was released in early 2016. EA took over the UFC game franchise after original publisher THQ went under in 2013, and the games have been pretty well received since then. UFC 3 will enter the Octagon in February 2018. Netflix is turning the way people consume entertainment upside down. With the second season of Stranger Things landing 1 week ago, the Nielsen ratings firm has released the first official numbers from the new episodes. They say that the premiere episode of the new season has so far earned 15.8 million viewers, with most viewers falling in the key 18 to 49 demographic. After that, each episode averages about 8.8 million viewers, which makes Stranger Things a bigger hit than most big shows on cable TV. With numbers like this, it's a wonder why Netflix held out for so long against releasing numbers for specific shows. Nielsen only just began measuring how many people are watching what on the streaming service. It will be interesting to see how the new season of Stranger Things compares to other Netflix originals, but either way, this is obviously a big win for Netflix. It further demonstrates that the emerging streaming market can easily overtake traditional television and will likely increase the speed of networks creating their own rival streaming platforms. And speaking of rival streaming services, Star Trek isn't the only classic sci-fi franchise that CBS is reviving for their streaming service. With the new show Star Trek Discovery becoming a huge hit for the subscription-based CBS All Access and already being renewed for a second season, CBS has announced that they're creating another big show for the platform. The network has announced that they're working on a new version of the Twilight Zone, which, like Star Trek Discovery, will be available exclusively on CBS All Access in the US. The iconic sci-fi anthology series first began airing in the late 1950s and has already been revived several times. The new show will presumably put a more modern spin on the concept, similar to other more recent anthology shows like Black Mirror.
To serve men, it's a cookbook.
Best of all, Variety reports that CBS is in talks with Get Out writer-director Jordan Peele to produce the new Twilight Zone, which would give the streaming show a big boost of prestige. There's no word yet on when the new Twilight Zone might premiere. The rush to embrace online distribution is being felt in the gaming industry as well. Activision has revealed that more than half of the sales of Destiny 2 were from digital downloads. The publisher made the announcement to investors in their latest earnings report, saying that more than half of players across not just the PC but also consoles opted to get the download-only version of the game. At the time we're filming this, Activision hasn't released specific numbers, so we still don't know exactly how many copies the game has sold, but the fact that more than half of players skipped the physical copies is evidence of a big shift in the market. Publishers are usually reluctant to break down the ratio between physical sales and digital sales, so this news about Destiny 2 indicates that physical sales might be going extinct sooner than you might think. This is obviously bad news for retail stores, many of which have already begun shutting down due to the rise of digital distribution. There's still hope, however. Activision points out that other game franchises with more mass market appeal, like Call of Duty, traditionally sell more retail copies due to their larger customer base. Call of Duty World War II hits retail stores and digital stores today, so expect big crowds. Fox is going to continue exploring strange new worlds with Seth MacFarlane. The network has officially renewed the Star Trek-inspired comedy series The Orville for a second season.
That's great, congrats!
This makes it the first new fall show from the network to get renewed and should come as a sigh of relief for fans. Before the show premiered, there was skepticism about whether or not it would be a success, with many wondering if its optimistic version of the future would connect with modern audiences. Other sci-fi shows, particularly Star Trek Discovery, have been going more dark and dramatic, so it's good to know that a more hopeful, classic Star Trek-style future is still something that people want to see.
Is that how it works?
In a statement, Fox says that the optimism of The Orville is one of the main reasons why it struck a chord with viewers, not to mention Seth MacFarlane's trademark style of humor.
You know, I'm just not going to try comedy with you anymore.
Expect the new season to take flight next year. If you like the Transformers movies, you'll be happy to know that the people behind them are doubling down. Following the financial success of the Transformers franchise, film distributor Paramount and toy maker Hasbro have announced that they've inked a new 5-year deal to create more new films based on other Hasbro toy lines. This deal will encompass new live-action and animated movies, although they haven't said what Hasbro franchises might be getting adapted first under the new deal. Keep in mind that this 5-year deal comes in addition to the already announced partnership between the two companies to create new Transformers and G.I. Joe movies, so we're going to see a lot more toy movies over the next few years. It's not too surprising that Hasbro and Paramount are thinking about a future that doesn't just include Transformers movies. The franchise has seen a drop in popularity, and although the latest film, The Last Knight, made tons of money, it still saw a strong drop in ticket sales. That hasn't stopped them from creating new movies with the giant robots. A spin-off focusing on Bumblebee smashes theaters next year. That does it for the rundown. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. We will see you with a brand new episode on Monday. And of course, we've got tons of other content to talk about. Later today, we'll be talking about the Xbox One X. And if you like our material, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell. And if you're so inclined, that sponsorship button.